Yo everybody, Kyle here. It's getting warmer, so I gotta leave the fan on for now. Hope that's not too distracting. Today I want to talk about another free tool you can get for your computer to edit video at home. FX Home's HitFilm Express. FX Home makes a number of programs including HitFilm Pro, iMerge, and Ignite. But we're going to take a look at HitFilm Express, the free video editing and compositing software from FX Home. So if you want to download it, go to fxhome.com, click on HitFilm Express, and then click Download HitFilm Express. While HitFilm Express is free, they are going to encourage you to purchase some of their other tools, but I'm just going to start with HitFilm Express. I can click on Free Product and Download. And then FX Home is going to ask you to create an account so that you can log into the app after it's downloaded. So even though it's free, they do still want you to have an account with them so that they can reach out to you, and you can reach out to them if you have support questions. So my name, country, my email, and create a password for your account. They want to know your age, and you could subscribe to their email mail list if you'd like, or it looks like you can opt out. After you fill out the form and click Send Me the Installer, they will email you the link to download the app. All right, here's the email, and it says, get your Express installer. HitFilm Express is available for both Mac and Windows platforms. So whether you have a Mac or a PC at home, HitFilm Express should be able to be installed on your computer. Looks like we download the installer, run the installer, and activate the software with the account you just created. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to download the Mac installer. If you have a Windows computer, download the Windows installer. All right, the installer package just finished downloading, and now I can install the program. User agreement, yes, I agree, and I agree. I'm going to install it inside my Mac, and then type in your administrative password for your Mac. There it goes, it's installing. Great, just finished installing. And I can delete the installer now that it's done. Hopefully the installation process on Windows is very, very similar. I would assume it is. Now if I take a look at my apps, there it is, HitFilm Express. Let's run it. All right, after launching HitFilm Express for the first time, it asks me to activate the program with the account that I just created. Let's see if I can log in and get going. Activate and unlock, type in my email and my password. All right, I have to restart the application to have the activation take effect. It also looks like the activation wants to send me notifications. I'm not really big on a lot of notifications, so I'm going to hit Don't Allow. All right, HitFilm is now activated, and I need to relaunch the application. Cool. Now that HitFilm Express is all activated and ready to go, I can start creating projects. When you first open HitFilm Express, it may seem overwhelming with all of the things that it wants to show you and it wants you to buy. But in terms of just being a video editor, that is totally free. If you want to watch videos on how to use this program more in depth, they've got tons of tutorials right there in the application. Plus, they have a lot of add-on packs that add more tools to the application. But if you just want all of the add-on tools, they do have HitFilm Pro that has all of that stuff built right in. I'm going to start a new project. So I'm going to click New in the top left-hand corner. Here I have to choose some things like what is the resolution of my video and what is the frame rate of my video before I can get started. So let's punch in some settings that are compatible with CMAC playback. The resolution 1920 by 1080 is compatible with CMAC, so I'm going to leave that alone. But I'm going to switch my frame rate to 29.97. And I'm going to leave my audio sample rate at 4800 Hertz, because that is standard for pretty much all broadcast formats. After I click OK, it's going to take me into the editor layout. If you're familiar with Adobe Premiere or the old Final Cut 7 and earlier editing programs, this program is going to feel pretty at home. In the bottom left, we have the space for our media. We can put all of the clips that we're working with in there. On the bottom right, we have our timeline, and we can lay out all of the clips on a track-based timeline. In the top left, we have a playback window for trimming and previewing media. And on the top right, we have a window for playback of the timeline. Really quick, I'm just going to bring in a clip, chop it up a little bit, and export it just so you can get a quick feel for how this program reacts. I'm going to import a clip that is in my Downloads folder, accept permissions. Here's my video clip from my latest CMAC Video Challenge entry. So I have the clip here. I can see it in the trimmer, and it looks like I can make in and out points up here, but I also believe I can bring the whole clip into the timeline and chop it up in the timeline with the blade and select tools. Grab this clip, drop it in the timeline. Now, the clip that I'm bringing in does have different settings based on the camera that I recorded it with, but I've already set my timeline settings. I'm gonna leave those alone, so I'm gonna say no for right now. Sometimes though, I do want to conform my timeline settings to my clip settings, but in this case, I don't want to. Because this clip was recorded in a higher resolution than my timeline, it looks like it's already punched into the center of this clip, so let me make an adjustment to that with the transform tool. I'm going to right click or secondary click the clip in the timeline, go up to transform, and fit to frame. There we go. There's my whole clip. I can trim some stuff just like practically any other nonlinear editor and grab the beginning of the clip and pull it inward to trim off the beginning. There's a blade tool in these list of mouse tools here. It calls it the slice tool, but whether you call it the blade tool, the razor tool, or the slice tool, the action is the same. With this tool, I can click on the clip to split it. So I just split it in a few places. Let me switch back to the select tool. I can grab a few of these sections and remove them. And I can drag these clips over to close the gap that was left behind by the sections of the clips that I'd removed. You can also delete a clip and close the gap left behind, called a ripple delete, by holding the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on a Windows computer and hitting the forward delete key. Now, I'm on a MacBook that doesn't have a forward delete key, so I will have to hold Option and the Function key and then hit the backspace delete key to ripple delete. All right, I've chopped up this clip a little bit. For the sake of example, let's say that it's ready for export. To get ready, I have to go to the Export tab in the top right playback window. Here are a bunch of presets I can pick from to pick the right format. I'm just going to stick with the YouTube 1080p HD setting because that will make it an H.264 compressed file, and it's going to use the 1080p settings that I used when I first created my project. Next, I'm going to highlight everything in the timeline that I want. It's everything, so on the keyboard, I'm going to hold Command and press A. If you're on a Windows computer, that would be Control A. I like to do this because it'll grab just about everything I've edited in my timeline. And if I've done everything correctly, I haven't left anything in the timeline that I don't want to export. Then I'm going to click the Export button in the top right of the timeline area, and I'll get to choose where this file goes. Now, HitFilm created a folder on my desktop called HitFilm Express, and inside of that, it created a folder called Exports. This will be fine for now, but I do need to name my file something better than just Untitled so I know what it is after it's done exporting. I'm just going to call this CMAC tutorial for now. Now HitFilm is exporting the file, and I can watch its progress in the export window in the top right. All right, my project just finished exporting. Now, before I close out HitFilm, I do want to make sure I save my progress. So I'm going to go up to the File menu and click Save. And because I have not actually saved it yet, I do need to give it a name. So I'm going to call this CMAC tutorial. And I'll put it inside that HitFilm Express folder on the desktop that it created for me. But that's it. That's how to download and install HitFilm Express and start your first project. But there's a ton of tutorials directly from FX Home about HitFilm Express on their website. But if you'd like to see more tutorials about HitFilm Express, drop a comment below or send us a message on social media. I'm Kyle, and I'll see you next time. Peace. Shoo.